Well, good evening, fans. Welcome in tonight here on AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm Rob Kendall. Lek Zorn will be with us momentarily as the Cascade Cadets take on the Wildcats of South Vermillion. Both teams out on the court, as you can see there. The Cadets on the far side of the screen going through some pregame warm-ups. And before we begin our broadcast tonight, want to, as always, thank some of the folks that make it possible for us to be out here. And we start with Platinum Partner CJ's Pizza, Platinum Partner AIC Irrigation, Diamond Partner North Salem State Bank, and Diamond Partner Best Way Drywall Incorporated. Thanks to those folks and all they do for the athletic department here at the Cascade High School, making it possible for us to come out and broadcast games. Also want to thank Mr. John Acton, the fine principal at the Cascade High School, and Scott Stevens, the fine athletic director. They do a phenomenal job as take care of us, making sure we have everything we need to bring you the Cascade High School Cadets basketball. We were with you last night. Tough luck loss at the buzzer for the Cadets as they fell to the Cloverdale Clovers, a very hard-fought game. And we will see if they can bounce back tonight against a South Vermillion squad that has struggled throughout the course of the 2016-2017 campaign. Lek will be with us again momentarily. Before we do, let's meet the starting lineups. For your Cadets, number 2, Jaden Hopper, a senior. Number 24, Alec Alderson, a senior. Number 30, Ross Stevenson, a senior. Number 34, Evan Birch, a senior. And number 43, Dalton DuBois, a junior. So Hopper, Alderson, Stevenson, Birch, and DuBois tonight for your Cascade Cadets. For the visiting Wildcats from South Vermillion, number 2, Cooper Terry, a sophomore. Number 5, Kyle Kendrick, a senior. Number 12, Brandon Johnson, a sophomore. Number 20, Braden Culber, a junior. And number 22, Bryce McLeish, a sophomore. So Terry, Kendrick, Johnson, Culber, and McLeish tonight for the visiting South Vermillion Wildcats. And again, Cascade looking to get back into the winning swing of things. A very tough loss last night, a game they were fought very hard on, and that Cloverdale squad going to have probably 2 Division I players out of there, including the fantastic Cooper Neese headed to Butler. And so it was a nice effort by the Cadets last night, ultimately following up 1 play short as they did lose on a layup at the buzzer. At this time, we bring in my broadcast partner, Lek Zorn. Lek.
Thank you, Rob. It's great to be here today in Clayton. I really missed coming here for nearly a month. We had that long gap of almost a month between broadcasts here from Clayton during Christmas and New Year's break. And then, of course, we did catch up with both the boys and girls Cascade teams in the Hendricks County basketball tournament last week, in which they had mixed success. But obviously there's no place like home, and both Cadets teams are glad to be here. This is the 4th game in this gym in just about 24 hours. We had a boys-girls doubleheader last night with the girls prevailing over Cloverdale 69-57, and then the boys falling 2 points short, losing on a layup by Jalen Moore with 1 second left in a heartbreaker 64-62. Then this afternoon in the girls game, the Lady Cadets destroyed the Lady Wildcats by a whopping score of 74-29. After falling behind 5-3 early, Cascade went on a 19-0 run and just cruised to an easy win the rest of the way, in which 9 Lady Cadets scored. Tonight, the boys team, who enters the game with a record of 7-5 and on a 2-game losing streak, starting with the Hendricks County Championship game last week, and then continued against Cloverdale last night, will try to get back on track against the South Vermillion Wildcats. It is a game that looks very winnable for Cascade. South Vermillion enters the game with a record of only 2-8. It's hard to gauge their schedule because 4 of their 10 opponents are actually in Illinois schools. South Vermillion is located in Clinton, Illinois, which is a town just on the Illinois border. So those teams I don't know anything about. Their Indiana opponents have generally been Class 1A and 2A schools. However, it should be noted that despite their record, they've actually, generally played their opponents close. In fact, their average on the season, they're averaging 48.8 points, giving up 55.2. So that's only a 6.4 differential, and that's not really a large amount. Certainly you'd expect a 2-8 team to have more like maybe a 15 or 20 point loss differential. But anyway, they are currently on a 6-game losing streak, by the way. Their 2 wins this season were against Hustonville, Palestine in Illinois, and then at Attica here in Indiana, Attica being a 1A team. South Vermillion is a team that does not have one star player. They have a very balanced scoring. Their leading scorer is a junior, Adam Hedden. He's 6'2", although he's not in the starting lineup tonight. He averages 12 points a game. Other than that, their second leading scorer is Brandon Johnson. He is a 6-foot sophomore averaging 8.1 points a game. And close behind is Kyle Kendrick. He's a 6-foot senior averaging 8.1 points a game. And also Mason Whiteman, 5'10 junior, is averaging 6.7 points a game. For Cascade this year, they've mainly had a strong 3-man core that's carried them to victory, led by junior center Dalton DuBois, who's 6'5". He not only averages 15.5 points a game, but also a team-high 10.4 rebounds a game. Senior guard Evan Birch also contributes heavily with 15.5 points a game, same as DuBois. And then, in addition, senior Alec Alderson at 5'10", is a sharpshooting guard averaging 10.2 points a game. Depth has been the one big problem for Cascade this year, which is not uncommon for smaller schools. They don't have another player averaging as many as 5 points a game, although Ross Stevenson has contributed significantly these last few games and has been a strong presence who doesn't have overwhelming statistics, but he's just come in there as a plugger and made some very big plays. And he's someone who he's a sophomore showing a lot of promise for the future, playing much above his mere height of 5 feet 10 inches. So certainly it's a game where on paper you would pick Cascade to win. However, keep in mind that they are playing their second game in as many days, whereas South Vermillion is playing their first game in a week and obviously much better rested. We'll see if that's a factor or not. It certainly didn't seem to be a factor with the girls today, when they were playing their second game, not merely in 24 hours, in about 20 hours. And then, meanwhile, their opponent was playing on 4 days rest, and yet the Lady Cadets rolled to a 45-point victory. So hopefully it'll be a similar success for the boys, and that would make it 3 victories out of 4 games in 2 days here at Clayton, as both Cascade teams returning home after the long break. So at that, we will pause for the national anthem.
At this time, we would ask that you please rise, kindly remove your hats, and face the flag at the west end of the gymnasium as we honor our freedoms, those who currently protect it, and those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
All right, there you go, our national anthem. And in just a moment here, we're going to have starting lineups introduced. There you go, Lek. And the Cadets will be the home team on the scoreboard tonight. They will wear the home white uniforms, black letters and numbers. The Wildcats of South Vermillion, they'll be the visitors wearing the road black, gold letters and numbers, as well as white in there as well.
Well, I'll tell you, Rob, it's shaping up to be a great weekend here at Cascade. Already, the girls won games on consecutive days. The boys nearly beat a very good Cloverdale team with 2 superstar players last night, including one headed for Butler. Of course, I'm talking about Cooper Neese, the sharpshooting guard averaging 30 points a game. And then obviously, now the 4th game in just about 24 hours about to be played here. And so, also last night, the Cascade mascot was introduced. Hopefully he'll make an appearance today. I didn't see him at the girls' game earlier, but hopefully he is here in the building and will be walking around and giving high fives to the fans and playing with the kids. And so now the starting lineups have been introduced. The 2 teams are out on the field. Dalton DuBois, of course, will be jumping for South Vermillion.
Me, Cascade.
For Cascade, of course. Silly me. Yeah, you do 4 games in 2 days. You make a couple of mistakes, but jumping for South Vermillion is Brad Kalber, who's a junior, 6 feet 9 inches tall, one of the tallest players we've seen this season. Josh Cochran of Brown County was 6'10", and so he controls the tip and gets it over to Kyle Kendrick, who pitches it back to Bryce McLeish, who brings it up the floor, and now McLeish drives to the basket, shot fakes, pitches over to Kalber. So now over to Kyle Kendrick. South Vermillion taking their time, showing no urgency to get a shot off quickly. The ball's knocked out of bounds now off a South Vermillion player to Cascade. So Evan Birch will bring it up. He's having a banner senior season, played particularly well lately. Gives it to Alec Alderson. Now Alderson over to Hopper. Across court to Birch. Now inside to Ross Stevenson. Pitches over to a wide open Jaden Hopper, who hits the 3 from the corner. So the Cadets nearly admitted in the game score first. It's 3-0. And now a steal there by Alderson. He drives it 1 against 3, but he puts it up off the glass, and he hits it after it rolls around. So a quick 5-0 lead by the Cadets, trying to take control of this game earlier. South Vermillion only 2-8, so this is a winnable game, but definitely you want to stay focused. And now inside on the other end to Brandon Johnson, who draws the foul in the act of shooting. So good start for the Cascade. The foul, by the way, is on Alderson. So now the first free throw for Johnson is up and good. So that's first point for South Vermillion. Second one is up and swishes it. So, they're saying the first one didn't go. Must have been an optic illusion. Sorry about that. So he did hit the second one nevertheless, so it's 5-1 now. Now Alderson with the ball, pitches over to Hopper. Cross court to Birch. Inside to DuBois. Turnaround hook shot, no good. And a rebound by South Vermillion. The player brings it up. I cannot tell who it is, but he passes down at the baseline to, I believe that's... sorry, I couldn't tell. He's standing, his shoulders... His shoulders were to the side of my face. So now intercepted by Birch. And he behind the back dribble, takes it down court. And tries taking it all the way himself. No, he dishes at the last minute to Hopper. Puts up a 3, no good. Rebound by Stevenson. He loses control of it. And it's grabbed there by Kendrick. Passes it up to McLeish. Now McLeish takes a jumper himself. No good. Rebound Stevenson. Pitches back to Alderson. 5:42 to go here in the first quarter. Cascade with a 5-1 lead over South Vermillion. Alderson with the ball now. passes over to Hopper. Inside to Du Bois, but it's tipped away and stolen by Kendrick. He pitches down court to McLeish. Looks for a man. He finds one in the corner. Kendrick for three, no good. Rebound by Du Bois, pitches up to Alderson. And now it's stolen from behind. Nice steal there. And now Kendrick's bringing it down. Pitches it over to Johnson, who misses the layup. Evan Birch comes with the rebound. 5:07 to go. Cascade with a 5-1 lead. And now Du Bois takes it in himself, puts it off the glass, and gets his first points of the game. 7-1 early lead for Cascade. 3 different players already scoring for the Cadets.
Yeah, that's one thing, Leck, that really stands out. They got 3 people involved early on, and you like that diversity of those getting the ball in the hoop?
Yes, definitely, and especially since depth has been a serious issue for the team this year, probably their most glaring weakness. So that although it has been getting a little better lately, as we saw, in the Hendricks County tournament, and then now a 3-pointer, no good off the back of the rim. Rebound there and put it back up, and that was Mason Wiltermood. He's a 5'10" junior. So by the way, it should be Kalber, the 6'9" player. He's averages now. The first free throw, by the way, by Wiltermood is up and good. So both points now for South Vermillion on free throws. Next one is off the front of the rim, no good. So 7-2, Cascade leads nearly halfway through this first quarter. Alec Alderson brings it up. Gives it over to Du Bois. Now over to Hopper. Inside to Stevenson. Back out to a wide open Alderson. Puts up a 3. And he swishes it. So Alec Alderson with 5 points now. And it's an early 10-2 lead. Cascade threatening to put this one away early, as did the girls, who started off down 5-3, then went on a 19-0 run. And never let South Vermillion back into the game after that. So now South Vermillion in the player double team tries to get rid of it. We got a whistle here. Let's see what it is. I could not tell from my vantage point.
And now we got a timeout, looks like, and a timeout called by South Vermillion, I think. Yeah, 30-second timeout. We talked about this, Leck, in the girls' game. It's so important for that inside-outside approach for a team like Cascade, especially one that doesn't really have a dominant big man, to be able to score from both points on the floor, and that's nice to see Alderson hitting that three-pointer.
Yes, indeed. Certainly, that's a very important, that they have that balance, and certainly that will help them. The fact that even though the minus side is that they only have 3 guys who are consistent scorers. On the plus side is that they score in a wide variety of ways that they combine to, give them a good inside-outside punch, and that's something that will play into their favor down the stretch going into the playoffs. Cascade enters the game with a record of 7-5. They're coming off 4 consecutive losing seasons. They look poised in that this year. They've had some very high-quality wins, including that huge win a week ago last night at Plainfield in the semifinal round of the Hendricks County basketball tournament, in which they beat the Class 4A Quakers on their home court. And just, really played nearly a flawless game, just like, the girls mostly have done these last 2 days, and the boys played a very, very good game last night as well in a losing effort against, a very talented team. So now, drive to the basket, no good. Rebound by Du Bois. Gives it up to, now let's see, we've got Michael Alderson in the game now for Cascade.
Yeah,
now,
he hit some big shot last night.
Yeah, even though they gave him the wrong name on the on the roster. So now a long 3 by Alderson, no good off the side of the rim. Rebound there by Kendrick. Now on the other end, Brandon Johnson with the ball, guarded by Alderson. He pitches over to Kendrick, back to Johnson, back to Hendrick. Now over to Wildermood. And so now a jump shot there by Wildermood, no good. Rebound off the fingertips of Kalber, the 6'9" player. Du Bois comes away with it, gives it up to Michael Alderson, pitches over. Now shot fake by Alec Alderson. He drives to the basket, now puts it up, no good. And rebounded there by South Vermillion. Brings it down in a hurry, finds Kalber, who lays it in and is fouled. So Braden Kalber the tallest player in the game at 6'9". He's a junior, still a year to grow and mature. Not a big statistical player. He'll throw only 3.7 and 3.7 points and 3.7 rebounds a game. He does average a team high 2.3 blocks a game. So now Kalber, free throw, puts it up, and it is good. He swishes it. So he has 3 now, and it's a 10-5 game. Cascade on top with 2:27 to go here in the first quarter at Clayton. This is AudioSportsOnline.com coverage of Cascade Cadets basketball. Now three-pointer there by Birch. No good. Off the side of the rim. Rebounded by Kendrick, who brings it up. Pitches to Kalber. To McLeish, I believe that is. Kalber standing under the basket. So now a jump shot there. Banks it in there by McLeish. Those are his first points now, so that cuts the lead to 10-7. South Vermillion hanging in there. 4 different players have scored for the Wildcats. So now Michael Alderson with the ball over to Evan Birch on the right perimeter, coming off a screen by Michael Alderson, and we got a whistle now. Yeah, I really wish that they would use the dark blue that's used for the Cascade numbers. I wish the Lady Cadets would use it also, because they use the really light blue. It's very hard to decipher their numbers. So I try to really memorize their face and hair to help identify the players. So now three-pointer there by Hopper, no good. Rebounded by McLeish. And now he struggled for a loose ball. We got a jump ball. The possession arrow, I'm waiting for the sign about who the possession arrow favors because we cannot see it from our vantage point here. We're behind the scorer's bench, so it's controlled by Cascade. So Birch inside to Michael Alderson. Late in the quarter now, 1:24 to go, and Cascade leading by 3. Now Jaden Hopper with the ball over to Birch, drives into the lane, nearly stolen from, gets it away to Dalton DuBois, takes it hard at the basket, puts it up, blocked there by Kalber, gets his own rebound, and then pitches it up to Birch, who puts in a 3 and swishes it. So Evan Birch with his first points of the game, pushing the lead to 6 now, 13-7, a minute exactly to go here in the first quarter. It's a game that Cascade should win, but South Vermillion is playing very hard, just as the girls did. Although they weren't able to keep it competitive for more than the first few minutes. Now, three-pointer from the corner. Wow! Off this, he banks that in. So McLeish now with 3, cutting the lead to 3. 40 seconds to go now in the first quarter. That was a very ugly-looking shot, but it went in just the same. So now on the other end, Michael Alderson with the ball. The Wildcats playing in a 2-3 zone. Now Michael Alderson just standing there if he's content to hold it for the last shot. There is no shot clock here in Indiana high school basketball. Now some of the players, some of the cadets move position. Now 15 seconds now. Alderson starts dribbling. He dribbles over to the right perimeter, now into the lane. Now pitches out to Hopper, to Birch for 3 from the corner, and he hits it. 6 seconds left in the quarter. Now throw in to McLeish. He brings it past midcourt. 2 seconds, 1 puts up a 3, and off the rim, nearly made it. So a late three-pointer by Evan Birch puts the Cadets up by 6 at the end of one quarter. Your score here at Clayton, Cascade 16, South Vermillion 10. Here on Audio Sports Online, my name is Lex Zorn, joined by Rob Kendall. This is our first season of bringing you Cascade Cadets basketball. Hope it's the first of many. It's been a pleasure to serve you all this season and cover these exciting boys and girls games. Great to see both teams, having very good seasons. The Lady Cadets ranked number 6 in the state in Class 2A, very likely to win their sectional. Meanwhile, Cascade having their best season in at least 5 years, and have continued to improve throughout the season, as evidenced in that big win at Plainfield last week. So, look at the first quarter scoring. Evan Birch had 6, Alec Alderson had 5, Jaden Hopper had 3, and Dalton DuBois had 2. So it's great to see that balance. We saw that in the girls' game in which 9 different Lady Cadets scored. It's a very high number for a high school game. Meanwhile, for South Vermillion, Bryce McLeish had 5. Braden Kalber had 3. Brandon Johnson had 1. And Mason Hiltermood had 1. So Now to start off the quarter. The Wildcats have the ball. Braden Johnson handling it. Pitches over to Wildermude. Now over to now Wildermude takes it over to the top of the key. Pitches back. Now over to Kendrick. Now over to Cooper Terry, number 2, newly into the game. And now Terry takes it up to the top of the key, guarded by Birch, who knocks it into the back court. It's thrown now over to Johnson. So now Terry now throws it up to Wildermude, 3-pointer from the top of the key, no good. Evan Birch pulls down the rebound, brings it up himself. 7:10 to go in the second quarter. 16-10 Cascade lead. He throws it across the court to Alec Alderson inside to and no good. And Alec Alderson pulls the rebound, puts it up, no good. Ross Stevenson with the rebound. He puts it up and he's fouled. Ross Stevenson, a mere 5'10", but he plays like he's 6'6". He's not afraid at all to take it inside of against the big guys. I've never done a Cascade football game before. I assume he's on the football team based on his build. But he's a very tough player who's contributed a lot off the bench lately and moved himself into the starting lineup. His free throw rolls around the rim and falls no good. 6:57 to go now in the second quarter here at Clayton. These last two games, the first and now the second one is good after rolling around. So Stevenson with his first point. So now all 5 Cadet starters have scored. Just a little over a quarter in this game, and it's a 17-10 lead for Cascade. And now drive to the basket by McLeish. No good, but Kalber puts it up and in. So Kalber with 5 points now for the Wildcats. So, I'm sorry, that was Spencer Lewis, excuse me. So Spencer Lewis, number 30. I thought it said 20. So now on the other end, Alec Alderson banks in a short jump shot. So Alec Alderson with a game-high 7 now. 19-12. Your score, Cascade in front of South Vermillion. Spencer Lewis, a pretty good-sized guy, 6'2", probably a football player as well. Now gets a rebound there, puts it up, and no good, a little too hard off the glass. Evan Birch gets the rebound. He brings it down himself. Birch not afraid to get down and dirty on the inside, despite his relative lack of size at 6'2". So now Ross Stevenson on the other end finds Michael Alderson inside to Du Bois, posts up, then puts over to Stevenson, who hits a hook shot. So Ross Stevenson with 3 now. And we got a timeout as South Vermillion starts to feel the game slipping away. 21-12 the score now with 5:45 to go here in the second quarter. Coming to you live from Clayton. This is our 4th game in the last 2 days. The girls won both of them. Boys lost by 2 last night against Cloverdale on a last-second shot by Jaden Moore. Trying to get back on the winning track tonight and push their record to 8-5. Head coach for the Cascade is Chris Du Bois, who's in his 13th year here with the Cadets and has a... Sorry, we got my phones here. But anyway, I can't get any internet service right now. But anyway, Chris Du Bois is in his 13th season here with the Cadets. Meanwhile, Phil Leonard is in his 3rd year as the head coach of South Vermillion. Won 11 games his first year with the team, 7 last year. This year, struggling. Only 2 wins so far in their first 10 games, although they do have a couple of promising young pieces to build around. So especially... a couple of juniors, 6'2", Adam Hedden, who's not in this game, who's not played in this game, averaging 12 points to lead the team. And then Braden Kalber, project with a lot of rough edges, but at 6'9", certainly, certainly there's the potential that, he could. Oh, and then there's a miscommunication there. As McLeish tried to hit Johnson, but Johnson, already ran up to the front court. The 2 players slapped hands there. And obviously no hard feelings there. Just the kind of mistake you learn from. 2-3 zone now by South Vermillion. Alec Alderson with the ball at top of the key, dribbles between a couple of defenders, now pitches back to Michael Alderson, back to Alec Alderson, and drives in, but it's blocked away by Cooper Terry. Nice block considering that Terry is a mere 6 feet tall. So a very, very good block. He was able to sky there pretty well. I didn't know he had that kind of jumping ability. So now Evan Birch inbounds to Alec Alderson, 5:22 to go. 9-point lead by the Cadets. Now back to Alec Alderson. Back to Michael Alderson. Back to Alec Alderson at the left perimeter. Now down to Ross Stevenson in the corner. Back to Alec Alderson. Fakes a three. Then back to Evan Birch. Shoots a three from the corner. No good. Rebound there by South Vermillion. McLeish now with the ball. Gives it up to Johnson. Johnson takes it over to the top of the key. Pitches back now to Cooper Terry. Now over to Spencer Lewis. Now inside to Lewis. Now pitches back out to Terry, who hands it off to Johnson. Now over to McLeish. And dribbles now inside to Spencer Terry. Now gives it back to McLeish. Drives to the basket, inside to Lewis, puts it up after Birch slipped, and Lewis lays it in for an easy two, cutting the lead to 7, 21-14, nearly a quarter and a half into this game. Cascade clearly the better team, but they give South Vermillion credit. They are hanging in there, certainly a lot longer than the girls did this afternoon in that 45-point blowout win. That was pretty well over, midway through the first quarter. Now a steal, and now, but Alec Alderson tried to steal it right back, but I think they're going to get him for a foul. Let's see, 4:05 to go here in the second quarter. It's a 21-14 Cascade lead. So it's going to go against, it's going to go against Terry. That's his second, only the team third. So, yeah, this reminds me of, I think it was the, if I remember correctly, it was the Tri-West versus Avon girls in last week's Hendricks County basketball tournament, in which there were hardly any fouls called until Avon was intentionally fouling in the final minutes to stop the clock. Only 6 fouls in this game, 3 by each team so far, nearly halfway through. So Evan Birch now with the ball at the right perimeter, pitches over to Jaden Hopper, the 6'3 senior. Now over to Alderson, back to Hopper. Now back to Evan Birch, fakes a three, drives over to the free throw line. Now pitches over to Alec Alderson. Now inside to Dalton Dubois. Turnaround jumper. No good. Dubois gets his own rebound, posts up, puts it off the glass, and he's fouled. So Dalton Dubois, who's played, he got off to a good start, and then he's been just great recently, especially in that win against Plainfield last week in the county tournament, and then last night in the near win over Cloverdale. Only 2 points tonight, though. Steps to the free throw line, and his first one is good after a few bounces. So that pushes the lead back up to 8. 3:32 to go now in the second quarter here at Clayton. So now Kalber comes back into the game now. I think they're going to probably need his size. Doesn't seem to be a very good athlete, but certainly, his size, he can get some rebounds and block shots. As Dubois hits the second one, he has 4 now on the game. Very balanced scoring by the Cadets, and they have a 9-point lead here. 23-14. South Vermillion, they're playing hard. They just don't have a whole lot of horses right now. Certainly, that can change. They do have 2 very solid pieces to build around with Hedden and Kalber. Kalber doesn't seem to have much quickness, but if he can develop a good hook shot and develop his hands, get more rebounds, then he will be a pretty effective player, especially since he should have a huge height advantage against most centers he plays against there as Alderson hits a jumper. So the lead goes into double figures for the first time today, 25-14. And now on the other end we got a foul. It's going to go against South Vermillion. That one's going to go against Kendrick. That's his first, team 5th. So Alec Alderson takes the inbounds pass, brings it up. 2:47 to go here. 11-point lead. Now Birch fakes a three, pitches back to Alec Alderson, over to Jaden Hopper. Back to Alec Alderson. Back to Birch inside the lane. Now his pass is stolen, though, by Kendrick, who gives it up to Wildermude, fakes a three, pitches back to Kendrick. Now back to Wildermude. Wiltermude, not Wilter. Now over to Royce Waldrop in the corner. And now back to Wildermude. Now drives to the basket, hook shot, in and out, rebound by Dubois, and we got a foul here with 2:05 to go. Or it looks like a timeout. I guess Cascade called timeout upon the rebound. Certainly, Cascade, they've played a good game. They've made few mistakes, just as has been the case for most of these 4 games in the last 2 days. And that's something you like to see. If you lose because the other team has more talent than you and is more skilled than you are, okay, but you never want to give a game away. You want to always give your best effort no matter what. And the main thing is make the other team beat you, don't beat yourself. And so really, South Vermillion, not a very talented team. Of course, coming from a small school, obviously sometimes you're just at the mercy of how much talent you happen to have coming through. I mean, there are years when Cascade has gone through a little bit of a talent drought, and through no fault of their own. That's just those are the breaks you get sometimes. And South Vermillion apparently going through one of those streaks right now. But they've played. They have not given this game away. They've made not many bad plays, and they're just losing to a better team. And really, with the obvious exception of the 6'9" Kalber, they just do not have much size. They do have a 6'5" senior named Tyler McFall, who I don't believe has played today, but their other players who've been in the game are all 6'2" or less. So certainly that's another obstacle that they face. So now Alec Alderson with the ball, pitches over to Hopper, back to Alec Alderson, drives into the lane, down to the baseline, feeds Dubois, short jumper, no good. Dubois gets his own rebound, puts it up and in. So
nice hustle that time. Dubois really staying with it and gets 2 points.
So 27-14 now, biggest lead of the game for the Cadets. Now on the other end, long jumper there, no good there by Hedden. And now behind the back dribble and now nearly lost, but Stevenson picks it up over to Hopper, drives to the baseline, pitches out to Ross Stevenson, thinks about a 3, then over to Alec Alderson, now inside to Evan Birch, now across court to Hopper, puts up a 3 from the corner, no good, rebound by Kendrick, gives it up to Wiltermude. 55 seconds now to go in the half. South Vermillion needs to get some offense going before the half. They trail by 13 now. McLeish with the ball. Pass over to Wiltermude. 41 seconds to go now. Remember, no shot clock. Now gives it back over to Waldrop now. Now to Kendrick. Turns around off the glass. No good. Rebound there by Kalber. Puts it up and in. So Kalber with 5 points now, the 6'9" player. He's already above his average of 3.7. And that cuts the lead to 11. 16 seconds to go. Looks like Cascade's going to play for the last shot. 12 seconds to go. Alec Alderson with the ball over to Evan Birch. 7 seconds now. Cross to Hopper. Cross court to Birch. 4 seconds now. 3, 2. Now over to a three-pointer from the... And it's good at the buzzer. That was Dubois, who scored 7 points near the end of the quarter after only 2 previously. So that puts an exclamation point on the first half for Cascade as they lead over South Vermillion by a score of 30-16 here on Audio Sports Online.
Okay, Leck, well, let's go ahead and thank the sponsors that make it possible for us to be out here. They include Platinum Partner CJ's Pizza, Platinum Partner AIC Irrigation, Diamond Partner North Salem State Bank, and Diamond Partner Best Way Drywall Incorporated. Also want to thank the athletic director, Scott Stevens, doing an outstanding job as always. They make it so easy for us to come out here and broadcast. And the principal, Mr. John Acton, doing a fabulous job as well. So John got to go to the Butler game today, so a nice Butler victory. So here at the half, Rob Kendall, Lex Zorn, it was all Cadets in the first. as it's 30-18. They lead it by 12 over South Vermillion. Dalton DuBois putting a nice little cap on the first half, draining a three from well beyond the arc. Taking a look ahead, our next broadcast of Cascade basketball, if you'll bear with me here momentarily, will come your way on, we're going to have a broadcast on the 24th of January. That's at Avon. That's the 24th of January at Avon. And then we're going to have a broadcast on the 26th back home against Speedway. Those are both girls. Go ahead, Lex.
Oh, keep in mind, especially it'd be great if you all could get out here for the game against Speedway on the 26th, because that is the senior day for this great senior class of Bailey Walker, Michaela Collier, Laura Batts, and Lexi Gross. Those girls have had such a great run, so hopefully you all will be here to give them a nice farewell.
Our next boys broadcast will come your way on the 2nd of February. The 2nd of February, as the boys take on Bethesda. So that will be our next boys broadcast. A bit of a ways away.
Yeah, I've lived I'm 46. I've lived in Indiana all my life. I've been following Indiana high school basketball for over 35 years. I have no idea where Bethesda is.
So Bethesda is in Brownsburg. It is on the northwest end. It's a private school.
Oh, okay.
And it is on the northwest end of Brownsburg. It has been around a very long time. It recently became and I'm winging it here off the top of my head, recently became an IHSAA-affiliated school.
Oh, okay, good.
And has all the major sports, soccer and basketball. I don't think it has football, but has baseball and several others. So, and Bethesda may have football. No, I don't think they do, but definitely basketball. I think they're 1A on their class size. And just a straight little shot out here to Cascade High School for the folks from Bethesda. They're the Patriots.
Okay, well, maybe we can, get them added to the Hendricks County tournament one year, and then maybe get another team, so we'll have 8 teams, so everybody you'll get, 3 games.
Yeah, it's they've been around a very long time. The Bethesda Patriots, a Christian school, and they will be playing the Cascade Cadets on February the 2nd.
All right, well, I look forward to being here for that one. And for all the games, actually. And then, of course, don't forget that, of course, we don't know the specifics yet. I don't know when they're going to have the drawing. I assume sometime in the next week or two. But the girls' cadets host a sectional. So we look forward to getting all the information about the matchups there. So they could have as many as 3 home games there in the span of about 5 days that we look forward to bringing you. Should be an easy win for the Lady Cadets in the tournament. Right now, let's look at what happened in the first half tonight. This is one of those games, and this really says a lot about the way that South Vermillion competes. In the girls' game earlier, after South Vermillion pulled out to a 5-3 lead, then the Lady Cadets ran off 19 consecutive points, winning cruise control the rest of the way, and rolled to a 74-29 victory. That's a 45-point margin. But there's never been I don't think it's ever been more than a 5 or 7 point run or so by Cascade today. South Vermillion, has fought hard. They have not made a lot of turnovers. They have not taken a lot of bad shots. They just haven't had the horses to keep up with Cascade. And, but Cascade's lead has been built very, very slowly. They led by 16-10. At the end of one. Now the second quarter margin was 14-6. So Cascade is just pulling away a little bit at a time, but it's been tough. I mean, they've really had to work on it, and it's helped that they have not made many mistakes. Both of these teams. This is the 4th game. I've now commentated 14 quarters of Cascade basketball the last 2 days, boys and girls, and I think. There have been less than 10 times where I looked at a play and think, gee, that was just, a bad play. Both teams have played fundamentally very well. They just, obviously you're going to miss shots. There's going to times when you slip and your opponent's going to get an easy score. But in both games, the teams have made their opponents generally earn almost everything they got. And if you play that way, you're probably going to win more often than not. And, of course, that's what's been happening all season with the Lady Cadets now 14-4 on a 3-game winning streak, winning 3 games this week in a span of 5 days, 2 in a span of less than 24 hours. And now the boys aiming at their first winning season in 5 years. So certainly there's all kinds of reason to be optimistic about the future of both of these boys and girls programs. And certainly it makes it sweeter that they have so much fan support. You know, Cascade is the smallest school that I've ever commentated for, and yet they get some of the biggest basketball crowds that I've ever seen. So that's great to see. And even more so if you count per capita, like as a percentage of the school population. So last night, we had a couple of 2A teams playing against each other in a doubleheader. And this gym with a capacity of 2,200 was roughly 3/4 full. And then another thing that was great to see during the halftime of the girls' game, and I wish they had this last night because there were far more people here. But in the girls' game girls' game today, they honored Lady Cadets of the past. They invited all of them to come back here, and about 30 did. And keep in mind, this is a small school that's only been around for about 50 years or so. So it was great to see that kind of big turnout. And like I said, this is my first year commentating the cadets, but I hope someday that, I'll see a future alumni gathering where there will be Bailey Walker, Michaela Collier, Laura Batts, and Lexi Gross, this year's seniors, returning here to Clayton and just reminiscing about their great days. Hopefully they'll be talking about a state championship or at least somewhere close to it. Hopefully they'll get a great tournament run this year, but we'll see. Looking back at the first half, by the way, scoring recap. First of all, for your Cascade Cadets, Alec Alderson has 9, Dalton DuBois has 9, Evan Birch has 6, Jaden Hopper has 3, and Ross Stevenson has 3. Very balanced scoring. And I'll tell you, because for the bulk of the season, Cascade has primarily relied on 3 guys, it is very, very encouraging that that they're now starting to get more balance. That's certainly going to play into their favor as they head into the tournament. Obviously they want to have that first winning season in 5 years. They have a good chance to get it because, with a win tonight, which looks likely, they will be 8-5, and they certainly have several more very winnable games ahead of them. However, it would be even sweeter if they were to, win some tournament games. And certainly, it's you never know. A lot depends on the almighty draw because it's a blind draw. You can go against, you can have a great season, and then you can be against another great team in the first round, or you can get a good draw, and then you can win a few tournament games just based on that luck. So,
who is in the Cascade section? I know we went over that last night, didn't we?
Well, we went over the girls. We didn't go over the boys yet. I'm trying to pull it up, but I cannot get a service on my phone right now. It's been in and out throughout this game. But looking at the girls, I mean, they're almost a cakewalk to win the sectional this year. They've beaten 3 of the 5 other teams in the sectional by double figures. Then the other one the Southmont doesn't look like a very good team, and then South Putnam I think is 1-15. So obviously
and that'll be here.
Yes. Yeah. So the Lady Cadets have the home court advantage as well.
We will be broadcasting it.
Yeah, and that will be magical with especially the first 2 sessions where you have all the different fan blocks from the 4 different schools, throughout this gym with the ear-piercing acoustics. But also, forgot to mention first half scoring for South Vermillion. Braden Colber had 5. Bryce McLeish had 5. Spencer Lewis had 4. Brandon Johnson had 1. And Mason Wiltermood had 1. So now 7 seconds left on the halftime clock, and we're about to go back to action here in Clayton. Cascade leading South Vermillion 30-16. Cascade looking to snap a 2-game losing streak and improve to 8-5 on the season.
And I think Cascade, even though they ended up losing that game last night, they got a lot out of that game against Cloverdale. I think they learned a lot about themselves, and I think the fact that they hung with a team that has 2 guys that will probably play Division I basketball, I think really showed them a lot.
Oh, it absolutely did. And especially we consider that they have two guys on the team who are far better than anybody Cascade has. Cascade, and now a three-pointer by Evan Birch. He hits it, so great way to start off the second half. Birch with 9 now, tying for Alec Alderson and Du Bois for the team lead now and for the game lead.
And I'll tell you what, one thing Birch has really evolved with as the year's gone on is his ability to shoot off the dribble. Early on in the season, like if you'll recall, he was mainly a catch-and-shoot sort of guy, but he's getting much better, like right there, of dribbling and shooting off the dribble.
He and Du Bois both have improved a lot during the course of the season. And then there are other guys. Ross Stevenson, though his stats aren't very eye-popping, he certainly has stepped up, and he's just one of those guys, sort of like Lexi Gross with the girls' team, doesn't accumulate many statistics, but just comes in there and does the dirty work and just makes some big plays, filling holes when you need it. And then and they got a steal there, but a foul on the steal. Looks like they're going to get McLeish for fouling Hopper there. But you look at Jaden Hopper has also stepped up. He's hit some very big shots lately. And then, certainly they're hoping that Benson Walker will be a heavy contributor, especially next year, when they're going to lose Alderson and Hopper and Evan Birch. That'd be great if if Benson Walker at 6'6" could come in and plug up the middle along with Dalton Du Bois. You'd have a twin tower combination there. So certainly a lot of reasons for optimism here for this team. And now we got a foul there against Stevenson. That's his first. I don't think either team got into the penalty in the first half. It's not been a very foul-prone game. So now McLeish brings it up, gets it past midcourt, passes up to Kendrick, who puts it up, hook shot, and it's no good, but he draws the foul. 33-16 your score. Cascade leading South Vermillion with 6:44 to go here in the third quarter at Clayton. This is our fourth game in 2 days. Girls won both of them, especially big today. Boys lost by 2 last night, but looks like they're on their way to a win tonight. They lead by 17 here.
That was a rough free throw thrown up there by Kendrick.
Yes, Kendrick still looking for his first point. That one goes.
Got that one. That first one was remnant of old Anthony Mason used to play for the Knicks.
The Knicks, yeah. Thing I remember about Mason, what's really odd is that he and I have the same birthday, though 3 years earlier. He's December 14th, 67. I'm December 14th, 70.
That Anthony Mason?
Yeah.
I think he passed away, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. I think you're right about that. I forgot, there have been several, a disproportionately high number of former NBA players who've had untimely deaths in recent years. There's Robert Traylor, Kevin Duckworth, Jerome Kersey, Roy Tarpley. Of course, Tarpley, sad to say, not surprising.
Traylor was a great player at Michigan.
Yeah, but, they'll never live down that, he was traded for Dirk Nowitzki. So, it's too bad. But, I remember, the tractor trailer, he was great at Michigan when they were starting to rebound after the Steve Fisher era. So now at the other end, Kendrick loses control of it. Stevenson gets it, pitches it up to Du Bois. The center runs the floor very well, now pitches inside to Hopper. Off the glass, good. So Hopper with 5 now. And Rob, listen to the scoring for Cascade now. Alderson, Du Bois and Birch with 9, Hopper with 5, Stevenson with 3.
There's a 3 ball by Wiltermood.
Yeah.
For 3.
So he has 4 now. But, when you're, what balance, though? 3 guys with 9, 1 with 5, 1 with 3. That's the kind of balance of a team that, has a good shot to make a tournament run. Now Du Bois with a 3, no good off the side of the rim. Rebound by Kendrick. Still guarded heavily. Double team now, and they nearly steal it. They do steal it. Du Bois gets it over to Birch, but overzealous on the pass. It's out of bounds to South Vermillion.
35-20 is the score.
But you got to love Du Bois's competitive spirit, though. After he missed the shot, he just almost manhandled Kendrick trying to strip the ball away from him, and then Birch got in on the action too.
Yeah, 35-20 the score as we're nearing the 5-minute mark. Left to go in the third quarter. It's been all Cascade early on as they'll try to add to the lead here after a defensive stand.
Yes.
Yeah, so we will be broadcasting the girls and boys sectional. There's another three. Nice shot that time. Kendrick, yeah.
So, South Vermillion not giving up yet. They're down by 12 nearly halfway through this third quarter. 35-23 your score. Cascade has a grip on the game, trying to make sure they don't lose it. Stevenson now inside to Dubois. Hook shot no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up and in. Dubois with a game-high 11 now.
So unlike football, Cascade not in the sectional with Tri-West. Is that correct?
Well, they wouldn't be. Johnson now with a field goal cuts the lead to 12. They wouldn't be because Tri-West is 3A and Cascade's 2A in basketball.
Which is odd because they're in the same class in football. In football,
no, Cascade's 2A in football also.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yep. So now Dubois turnaround jumper, no good off the front of the rim. Saved by South Vermillion. They're with a 12-point deficit, trying to get something going to cut into the lead.
Leck, I'm pretty certain that. Yeah, no, you're right. Never mind. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. That's why there's two of us instead of one. The whole is the greater than the sum of its parts.
For some reason. So who? I'm having a brain cramp here on the air. Who was in Cascade sectional then for football?
I really don't remember, actually. I'll have to look that up. I remember they did win their first game. Brownsburg was the only Hendricks County team that did not win a sectional game.
That's right, because Danville and Tri-West are in the same sectional.
Yeah, that's right. Cascade. I mean, it was 2A. I'm not, because the thing is and now a steal there. Wow, great anticipation by McLeish. Takes it down, puts it up, and I think they're going to give him for the foul. Yes. But the thing is, I'm not really that familiar with most 2A football schools because most 2A schools are well out of the Indianapolis metro area. So they're not schools that I normally, commentate. But now inside to Birch and loses control of it, and it is out of bounds to South Vermillion with 3:16 to go. One tidbit I've been meaning to squeeze in all day. South Vermillion is in Clinton. Clinton does have a claim to fame as the childhood home of actor Ken Kercheval, who played Cliff Barnes on the TV series Dallas. He and the late Larry Hagman were the only two people who were on the show for the entire 13-year run there. So now our missed shot there rebounded by Hopper. Now Birch with the ball at the other end. Pitches inside to Hopper. Turnaround hook shot up and no good. Rebound Dubois puts it up and in. Delton Dubois with 13 points. And it's a 14-point lead for the Cadets. 2:41 to go here in the third quarter at Clayton. We're coming to you live on audiosportsonline.com. My name is Lex Zorn, joined by Rob Kendall. First season of bringing you Cascade Cadets basketball. Now inside to Johnson. Jump shot no good. And rebound by Birch, and we got a foul. But, I didn't appreciate Dallas during its original run. My parents watched it religiously, and my dad had a major man crush on JR. I think, secretly idolized him. But, I always loved, looking back at those old episodes, I love the chemistry between Larry Hagman and Ken Kercheval, the bitter rivals JR and Cliff. They were so good together on screen.
Now Cliff Barnes, 3-ball up, good count.
Wow.
Foul.
Chance for Birch with a chance for a 4-point play here. Yeah, you were asking though, Rob?
Well, Cliff Barnes was, I don't know if you remember that they rebooted Dallas.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
and Cliff Barnes was the arch villain against JR.
Yeah, well, just like it was in the original. Yeah. Kercheval did reprise his role on the new series that lasted 3 years on TNT, and now Birch completes the 4-point play. Rob, is that the first four-point play we've done all year?
It may be.
Yeah, I don't remember any others, but it gives Cascade a game-high 18-point lead with 2:07 to go in the third quarter. So now 3-on-1 break. Birch lays it up. Nice block there. I couldn't tell who got it, but now Hopper comes away with the loose ball, though. So still is a great defensive effort there by South Vermillion. They have not given up. Now we've got Chase Edwards into the game. He's a 6'2 senior, not played a lot. Gives it over to Birch for the three, and he hits it.
Great shot.
Evan Birch now with the game-high 16. But, yeah, it was interesting, though, to see that rivalry, the J.R. Cliff rivalry, renewed after the 21-year layoff between the two runs of the series. And, unfortunately, it was cut short because of Larry Hagman's sudden death during Season 2. Of course, if you watch the new Dallas, you could tell he was dying of throat cancer while he was filming it, and he worked hard just to stay healthy enough to, do the limited appearances that he did, but it was still good to see him make one last run at the character.
Well, that show started really strong the first couple episodes out of the gate, and then it kind
of... it was big for about... It was big for about, it had about 5 huge years. And then
I'm saying the reboot.
Oh, the reboot. Yeah, it did very well the first year, sort of so-so the second, and then it did pretty badly the third.
Because it had Patrick Duffy in it, too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he joked that every time, a character died on the show, the actor would come to him and say, "Hey, can I come back from the dead like you did?" Because remember, in one of the biggest blunders in TV history, they actually killed off Bobby, and then in a desperate move to improve ratings, they brought him back. Said the whole last season was a dream, but it destroyed the continuity of the show, and that's when everything started crashing. So, anyway, great memories though. The scene where he appeared in the shower was a classic, though, I got to say. So now Cascade looks like they got this one pretty well in the bag. 21-point lead late in the third quarter here at Clayton. A three-pointer in and out there by Kendrick. Now on the other end, now down to Alderson, takes it past the bat, and now goes over to Stevenson for the three. No good. Rebound there by Waldrop, and he gives it up to Wiltermood. Inside to jump shot off the glass and good there by Tyler McFall with his first points of the game. Cuts the lead to 19 now. So now post up there. The ball stripped away there by Kendrick. A 3-on-2. Kendrick takes it up himself, and he's fouled. But I'll tell you, this is one key stat of the game, Rob. 7 South Vermillion players have scored, but nobody has more than 5. So that's one problem that that this team has had all year. They don't have a really big go-to guy. First free throw up and good there by Kendrick. 46-18 your score. 44.8 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Cascade apparently on their way to a victory. Stevenson and Alderson now sitting down for Cascade.
Can you think of any of these shows where the reboot has lasted and been really really good?
Hawaii 5-0, I guess, is one.
Because, that seems to be all they do now.
Yeah.
There's a foul off the rebound. You got Hawaii 5-0, Fuller House, Boy Meets Girl Meets World, or whatever that reboot of Boy Meets World is. Dallas.
Yeah.
I did see the rumors they're going to reboot Dinosaurs from the early 90s, if you remember that show.
I don't remember that one, no.
It was little mechanical puppets. They were dinosaurs. And they were on TGIF.
Okay. Free throw by McFall is up and good. Yeah, I think the thing is the budgets on these shows are so high these days that, the producers are trying to play it safe and just, go with the big brand name.
It's interesting because it costs, you mentioned that, and we'll get to the end of the quarter and then we'll talk about that, and that's right up your field of the acting.
Yep.
And now Alderson there across the 10-second line. Flips it up over to Du Bois, high on the wing. And Cascade with a big lead appears to hold the ball.
And now we got a foul here with 21.8 to go. Cascade looks like they've, got this one wrapped up. They lead by 17. with a little over a quarter to play here at Clayton.
Yeah, and that's going to put Du Bois at the foul line, shooting one of the bonus.
Du Bois with 13. He and Birch about even again, like last night. First free throw up, no good. Rebound there by McFall, who's had some good moments here in the third quarter. And now we got Tyler McFall, by the way, is a senior, 6'5". He gives him some size on the inside. I'm surprised we have not seen more of the 6'9" center Braden Culber tonight. He does have 5 points, but I don't know what his endurance is. So now fakes the three there by Kendrick, drives into the lane, now pitches over to Lewis, loses control over it, now pitches out for a three, no good. Fight for the loose ball, and now that's the end of the quarter. So at the end of three here at Clayton, your score, your Cascade Cadets on top of the South Vermillion Wildcats by a score of 46-29 on audiosportsonline.com. I'm Lex Zorn along with Rob Kendall.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's interesting, and you know this from your time with acting.
Yes. How
much it costs to put together a TV show, and it's so cheap now to do a lot of these reality shows and the talk shows.
Yes.
You got to wonder if the day of the sitcom or the highly produced television series going by the wayside of cost versus reward,
Yeah, certainly, that seems, that is a danger, but at the same time, though, you look at what a big trend that binge watching has become,
Yeah.
I've seen, Sherry and her mom and my daughter do it. I mean, Sherry basically, she'll pick one series at a time and she'll, just watch 3 or 4 episodes a day for a few weeks until it's all done. And the first one I noticed she did that with was the TV series Lost, and I watched a few episodes, but I didn't get it at all. And I heard you really that's one show you have to follow from the first episode. But
and now Netflix, of course, becoming so prevalent, as you mentioned, that makes the binge watching so easy.
Oh yeah. So now, Wildermood brings it up for the, and now drives it to the lane, then pitches out to Kendrick, turns around, hook shot, no good, rebound by McFall, and he's fouled. So, the way that McFall has played, he has not been great, but he's been solid. I'm surprised they didn't go to him earlier. As he goes to the line again, he has 3 points. But, he's really been a fairly strong presence inside. First free throw up, no good off the front of the rim, and he chases down his own rebound and pitches it over to McLeish. 7:37 to go now. Now over to Kendrick, pitches back to Wiltermood, and now they got him for a travel. So Cascade with the ball and a 17-point lead. 7:27 to go here in the fourth quarter at Clayton. A much smaller crowd than they had last night for that doubleheader, where they had about 3/4 capacity here in this gym. We've had probably a couple of hundred people here, and then we had maybe 100, maybe 150 for the girls earlier. And now jump shot there by Dalton Du Bois is good. He has 15 now, one behind Birch for the game lead. So McLeish now driving, now pitches inside. Bank shot no good, rebounded by Michael Alderson. So now Alec is a 5'10 senior, Michael a 5'10 sophomore. Now on the other end, Du Bois puts it off the glass. He's got it. He has now a game-high 17. He really started to come alive. After a quiet quarter and a half, he really came alive at the end of that second quarter. He was very big last night, too. And now a hook shot, swished there by Kyle Kendrick. He has a team-high 7 for South Vermillion. 50-31 your score now. And so, like Rob, what I was saying at the half while you were away, one thing that is impressive about South Vermillion, even losing so far by 19 points, is that, and now the baseline jumper by Dalton Du Bois, he nails it. He has 19 now. He's really starting to get on fire, pushing the team lead up to 21. But what I was saying is that, unlike the girls' game where there was that 19-0 run in the first quarter that put the game away, South Vermillion, has not allowed Cascade to go on any 10, 12, 15-point runs. They've played very hard. They have not made many mistakes. They just haven't had as much talent, and Cascade has pulled away, but it's been a very slow, gradual process. So, and now a three-pointer there by Du Bois. He's on fire, and so we got a timeout here, and that should seal the deal as Cascade now opens up a 24-point lead with 5:23 here to go in the fourth quarter. Dalton Du Bois with 22 points. He's now starting to be a regular 20-point-a-game scorer, and he's only a junior, 6'5" now. If he can grow 2-3 more inches next year, he should be really good, especially if Benson Walker, who's now 6'6" as a sophomore, grows a few more inches of his own, and and improves enough so that those two will be a very strong twin tower type presence who would, win the battle of the boards and the shot blocking against probably 95+% of their opponents. So certainly it is going to be a challenge to replace Jaden Hopper as well as Alec Alderson and Evan Birch, all of whom are senior starters. But with Du Bois and possibly Walker, they have some solid pieces to build around. So a lot of reason to think that Cascade has a bright future for boys basketball, and of course they've been very good in girls basketball for a long time. And now Wiltermude with a three-pointer. He has 7, tying with Kendrick for the team high. So now Stevenson with the ball. Now Birch fakes a three, then pitches over to Hopper. 4:52 now. Now over to Du Bois. Looks like he's thinking about a three, and why not? Because he's on fire. But now gives it over to Birch. Now back to now Birch with a three off the front of the rim. Rebound there by Kendrick, who will take it up himself. South Vermillion still playing very hard and aggressively, trying to at least cut into this lead. And now they got to travel, though, on McLeish. So, I'll tell you, I'm trying to, I keep on trying to get a signal on my phone to get some information on the sectional and other information about Cascade boys basketball. Now on the other end to Birch, wide open for the layup. He hits it and he's fouled. So, tell you that's one of the very few fundamental mistakes South Vermillion has made all game. They completely fell asleep on defense there. Only one guy was on. Only one guy realized what was going on for South Vermillion, and he committed the foul. That was Wiltermude. That's his third foul. So now Birch trying to complete a three-point play. He has 18 now. Free throw is up and good. So Evan Birch with 19. So a nice 1-2 punch of Birch and Du Bois again. Good inside-outside combination. They've combined for over 40 once again. Now a steal there by Birch. He brings it down and thinks about a three, then pitches back out. Now Alderson fakes a three, then pitches over to Dylan Compliments. Now hasn't played much this year. Now over to Birch. Back over to Hopper. To Alec Alderson now. Now inside to Compliment at the free throw line. Pitches down into Birch. A reverse hook shot, and he hits it. So Evan Birch now with 21. So there's a 2 20-point scores once again for Cascade. Now on the other end, they find a nice block there on the shot by McFall. However, South Vermillion controls the rebound. Three-pointer now by Wiltermude. Looks like it's partially blocked out of bounds and knocked over to Cascade. 3:29 to go now, and we got a foul here. I think they're going to get McLeish for a reach-in against Alec Alderson. So it's a game-high 26-point lead for the Cadets. And, now this might be time to empty the bench here. We'll see.
Yeah, Leck, and you've done a great job calling this game tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Did a great job with the girls. And again, we remind you, it's going to be a little while before we'll be back. It'll be the 24th. We will be at Avon. So 10 days from tonight, the girls play at Avon, and we'll bring you all the action.
So now Alec Alderson at the free throw line. First one is up, and it is good. Alderson, a relatively quiet game, now into double figures nevertheless with 10. Second one is up and good. So 3 double-figure scores again for the Cadets. They have a 28-point lead now. 3:24 to go. Kyle Kendrick with the ball. Pitches back out to Waldrop. Still Cascade playing very tough defense despite the lead. And now baseline jumper by Johnson, no good. Rebounded by Dubois. And now, so I'll give South Vermillion credit. They still double-teamed Dubois until he got rid of it over to Alderson, who brings it past the midcourt. Now drives to the basket. Puts it up to a driving Dubois, who lays it in. So Dalton Dubois with 24 points now. 2:47 to go. And now Alderson goes for a steal, knocks it out of bounds to South Vermillion. So it's a 30-point lead. And now Chase Edwards coming in. And Dalton Dubois sitting down. Evan Birch sitting down. Dubois finishing with 24. Birch with 21. Both getting well-earned rests now. So now inside, now back to Kendrick. Cross court to Wiltermood. The crowd chanting air ball every time Wiltermood touches it. I don't get that, It's not very classy when you have a 30-point lead, but now struggle for a loose ball, and we got a jump ball now. And let's see who the possession arrow favors. Once again, Rob and I cannot see the possession arrow from our vantage point. Okay, favors Cascade. So 2:21 to go, and we're going to have Dylan Compliment, a 5'11 junior, inbounding the ball. He's played sparingly this season, but, still has another year left. Alec Alderson brings it up. Past the midcourt line. Passes over now to Michael Alderson. Now back to Alec Alderson. Now inside. Now three-pointer there by Alec Alderson. No good. And rebound by Waldrop, who will bring it up himself. Guarded by Alec Alderson. Spins around and now puts it up. Underhanded. No good. Gets his own rebound. And pitches it out to McFall now. We got, let's see. We have Matthew Pana. I'll hold that thought. We got a foul now by Cooper Terry. And I was hoping this guy wouldn't get in the game because his name is a mouthful, but it's one of those really long Greek names. Let's
see.
Who
you got? What number?
Panagoulias. Okay, Matthew Panagoulias, a 5'10 junior for the Wildcats. First free throw is up and good by Cooper Terry. So now finally all scores for the game have scored. And now Alec Alderson is sitting down. And we've got now entering the game Zach Jacobs and Chase Western for Cascade, as well as Colin McMahon, who's a 5'9 sophomore. So now second free throw by Terry is up and no good. I'll tell you, I love the Greek culture. I love the Greek people, but darn, they have the hardest names. So, I apologize if I ever mispronounce any of them, but I love them. I love going to the Greek festival every year up in Carmel. And now a jumper, no good, by one of the Cascade reserves. And the toughest part of the game as a commentator when you put all the subs in. But so now Chase Western, a 6-foot junior now, with the ball, giving it over now. We've got another Ian Birch now, 6'1 sophomore, into the game as well. And under a minute to go, 55 seconds, 29-point lead for the Cadets, on their way to breaking a two-game losing streak, excuse me. And, what can you say? What a great day. The girls win by 45. Now the boys about to win. They have a 29-point lead here. 32 seconds to go. And still South Vermillion playing very relentless defense, although Cascade very well could run out the rest of the shot. Now, no, they got a steal there by McMahon, by Terry, who brings it down to the other end, puts it up himself, and rolls in and out. Rebound there by McFall, who puts it in. McFall with 5 points. And now 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and that's the game. Cascade with a very outstanding day. They get 2 wins. The girls win the afternoon game 74-29. Now the boys win the night game by a score of 64-37 over South Vermillion. What a day. A couple of very, very big victories for the cadets.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice job by the boys coming out there, getting a big win, getting back into the winning swing of things after a couple of losses, especially the tough one last night at the buzzer against Cloverdale. 8-5 now on the year as we turn our eye towards the second half, really the waning part of the second half of the season, and get ready for the sectional tournament.
Yeah, so definitely, a lot to feel good about. We were one play away from having 4 wins over 2 days. Nevertheless, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. And, at least the loss was to a team with 2 super big-time players with it. Looking at the final scores tonight, all the scoring for Cascade tonight came from the starters. We had Dalton DuBois with 24, Evan Birch with 21, Alec Alderson with 11, Jaden Hopper with 5, and Ross Stevenson with 3. For South Vermillion, we had Tyler McFall with 5, Braden Kalber with 5, Mason Wiltermood with 7, Spencer Lewis with 4, Brandon Johnson with 3, Bryce McLeish with 5, and Cooper Terry with 1. So it was a game tonight in which, like I said, there were I don't think Cascade had more than maybe a 7-point run tonight. South Vermillion, they made very few bad plays. They didn't have the same level of talent that Cascade did, and it showed, but they hung in there, played the whole game very hard, didn't give it away. They just gotten beaten by a better team, and certainly Cascade also played very hard, to their credit. Even in the last couple of minutes, both teams were pressing hard on defense. So one thing that really stands out about me today, Rob, is that both the boys and the girls were playing very hard on both ends of the court when they had the lead and staying very focused.
Yeah, so great win for the boys and the girls. They sweep it, and again, we will talk to you on the 24th of January as the girls head to Avon to take on the Orioles. For Lex Zorn, I'm Rob Kendall saying have yourself a great evening.